Find out why more and more Americans are tuning in Hearts of Fire.
It was absolutely hilarious.
A little different.
And Monday.
Let me introduce you to your sweet mates and
Excuse me, did you say sweet mates?
How do John and Georgie wind up at a swingers resort?
You're the one who arranged this little vacation on Satan's Fantasy Island.
All new Hearts of Fire.
I love Generator.
After Murphy Brown, Monday. This is CBS.
Go to the County Federal Credit Union in Caribou, ask about new car down payments, and they'll tell you...
Zip.
Try the Presque Isle office, and you'll get...
0.
See them at the new Fort Fairfield office about down payment requirements, and you'll hear...
Not a thing.
See what the guy in the corner office has to say about new car loans. Go ahead, ask everyone.
Nada!
Now's the time for a new car. 0 down, just 6.5% APR. At the county, of course.
It's Red Tag Days at F. McClure & Sons Toyota in Grand Falls. Toyota is offering factory-to-dealer incentives on all new models, and 5.8 financing is available on selected models. Red Tag Days also mean special lease rates. Drive away with a brand new 94 Tercel for as low as $169 a month. That's quality and value in an economical package. Park a brand new Camry in your driveway for as low as $299 a month. It's all going on during Toyota Red Tag Days at your neighborhood Toyota dealer, F. McClure & Sons Toyota, Grand Falls.
Give a little back to the community. Support your National Guard.
Previously on Picket Fences.
Lately, you know, I haven't been too great.
You have a little problem with... Campaign will sell milk.
So you claimed $84,000 in entertainment expenses?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any receipts to back this up?
No, I don't.
Well, what's in the bag, then?
Tostitos, chips, and salsa. People really love them. Every time I open the bag, I mean, one thing...
Tostitos tortilla chips are so deliciously perfect with Tostitos salsa. Next thing you know, it's a party.
I smell refund.
Really?
No, not really.
Tostitos, prepare to party.
Orion Pictures presents a story of two friends.
You gotta look him up for me.
And the favor
You did me the favor. What are you talking about?
that came between them.
You're mad at me.
The favor.
We'll laugh about this when we're 90.
Rated R. Starts Friday, April 29th.
Heard the secret? It's a pretty panty that targets your tummy to control you where you need it most. The Playtex Secrets Panty Slimmer in new light control, too. They really work.
If you're shopping for carpet, you know how hard it is to compare.
What's the difference between these?
Oh,
About $10?
introducing the Trustmark Carpet Selection System. It's selection made simple because it gives you the facts on things like thickness and durability, so you can finally make a confident decision instead of the Trustmark Carpet Selection System. Only at a Trustmark dealer. Call 1-800-TRUSTMARK.
My husband's a dentist. He tells people to use a mixture of baking soda and peroxide to clean teeth and gums. I use it. It tastes terrible. And who has time? But he nudges me.
Mentadent is the only fluoride toothpaste with baking soda and peroxide in a pump.
Look at this. Mentadent. Fluoride toothpaste with baking soda and peroxide. It's got it all. Tingling oxygen bubbles. And it tastes absolutely delicious.
Mentadent, accepted by the American Dental Association.
Cicely Tyson, Diane Lane, two women from different worlds. A friendship that lasted a lifetime in The Oldest Living Confederate Widow Tells All, May 1st.
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Saturdays on CBS.
Some fear the passage of time. Others welcome it because it will reveal their strengths Now, J.D. Power & Associates reveals that the best overall car line in vehicle dependability at 5 years of ownership no longer comes from Germany or Japan. The leader is Cadillac, creating a higher standard as time goes by.
Introducing Allergy Relief.
Introducing Allergy Relief.
Created specially for the day.
Created specially for the night.
New Actifed Allergy Daytime.
Nighttime. 2 maximum strength formulas in 1 total relief system.
The daytime formula decongests, so you can breathe freely without drowsiness.
The nighttime formula adds relief for runny nose and sneezing, so you can rest.
New Actifed Allergy Daytime.
Nighttime. Allergy relief that's right, day and night.
I don't know why I love you like I do.
Sliced zucchini, julienne carrots. Maybe it's everything we put in Ragu Super Vegetable Primavera. You're gonna love it.
She's America's hottest video. Everyone's screaming for her.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire.
And April 26th is the day to buy Mrs. Doubtfire. She's a deal for $19.98 or less.
This is a Gold MasterCard, okay? Sure, it's got a credit line of at least $5,000, but it won't settle any unresolved issues from your childhood. Well, maybe it could. I mean, no Gold card is more accepted on the planet, so you can take your parents to dinner practically anywhere and say, Mom, Dad, you raised me. I owe you a steak. And it might be smart to buy them a grandfather clock to replace the one you demolished when you were 8. And if this one gets broken, the Master Purchase Plan can replace it. So, I guess a Gold MasterCard could resolve some childhood issues. Wow, Gold MasterCard. It's more than a Gold card. It's smart money.
It's time to reset your comedy clock.
Look at you! I have buttons inside my underpants.
Well, these are your wonder years.
Dave's World at its new time. Then, does the security guard have it in for Ernie?
The man was just doing his job, harassing black people. What does he get promoted to, Grand Wizard?
All new 704 Hauser after Dave's World, Monday.
To parents who want answers to the crisis their kids may face.
All I want to do is kill myself.
Eddie, please don't die, please!
Kids Killing Kids, Tuesday.
It could happen at any time. That craving for a Wendy's bacon mushroom melt. A quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, and mushrooms in a cheddar cheese sauce.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
We all work so hard today. That's why I treat myself to new French vanilla, mocha almond, and cinnamon cream coffee mate. So many treats. So little time. New flavored Coffee Mate. Your coffee never had it so good.
Hey, let's make Mom a card. What do you want to say?
I love you and you're pretty.
And?
I'm sorry I broke the lamp.
Anything else?
You're pretty.
Again?
It's important.
Okay.
Introducing American Greetings Create-A-Card.
You're sorry? I'm pretty?
Now you can make a card that says just what you want. American Greetings Create-A-Card.
Nobody makes a card for that except me.
Picket fences will return.
Tonight, Tom Snyder makes an announcement.
We feel that everybody watching should have their own talk shows.
Yeah! Plus Ray Liotta.
And I didn't know what to say.
Tonight.
Peter Strauss and Jean Smart in a special adventure for the whole family.
Pa says I can go bring back the fawn.
When an orphan fawn befriends a young boy,
You give it from your milk. We got nothing else to feed.
he learns how to be a man.
We can't have our year's crop destroyed.
I guess you to fall.
A Kraft General Foods premiere movie, The Yearling, after Murder, She Wrote Sunday.
This is CBS.
Springtime in Maine, and what better time to relax and enjoy the way life should be. Maine innkeepers have joined together to provide a golden opportunity to see parts of Maine you may never have visited, from the oceans to the mountains, to the rivers, to the wilderness of this great state. Participating properties have planned all sorts of surprises for you, from special rates to special treats. So call the KeyBank 800 number or the Maine innkeepers for more information, because as Dorothy said, there's no place like home, and there's no time like springtime in Maine.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ed Walsh. Coming up on News Source tonight at 11 o'clock, Bosnian Serbs agree to a ceasefire around the Muslim enclave of Gorazde tonight after NATO gives them an ultimatum. We'll have the late details for you. Also tonight, an air ambulance helicopter crash in West Virginia has left 4 people dead. And for the second time in as many days, a toxic gas leak at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, has forced people to evacuate the premises. We'll have that and more tonight at 11.
There will be more about the life and legacy of former President Richard Nixon on your late local news and on tomorrow night's CBS Evening News here with Bob Schieffer. For now, and for all of us at CBS News, Dan Rather in New York. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
This is CBS.
Have hard-working guys you can depend on. A good, solid enforcer. Great moves, up in the corners, and not afraid to go to the net. The only thing better than one good enforcer is two good enforcers.
Now at your Ford and Mercury dealers, get full-size Enforcer, only $13,294. Or choose new Ranger Compact Enforcer, now only $10,847. Plus this crested jacket.
Enforcer's tough enough for me and Blue is one tough pup. Bushy too.
Northland Roofing, specializing in Versico and Carlisle rubber roofing systems for commercial, industrial, and agricultural buildings, is scheduling for the '94 season. Call for your consultation and free estimate today. Northland Roofing, a completely insured and bonded county company serving the state of Maine.
Saturday at JCPenney. For 3 short hours. 9 a.m. to noon. You'll find great selected sale items. At an extra 10% off the sale price. 9 a.m. to noon. Saturday only. Get to JCPenney early.
JCPenney, Aroostook Center, doing it right. You're watching WAGM Television, Presque Isle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ed Walsh. Our top story this Friday night, Richard Milhouse Nixon is dead. Former president died around 9:08 this evening in a New York hospital. He had been in the hospital ever since suffering a stroke earlier this week at his New Jersey home. According to President Clinton, his 2 daughters were at his side. Earlier tonight, as you just heard on CBS, President Clinton addressed the nation in telling the world that former President Nixon had passed away. President Clinton said that he was grateful for his wise counsel on so many issues over the past year. You may remember that President Nixon traveled to Moscow for President Clinton just last month. CBS's Ken Jarrell is live in New York at the hospital where the president passed away just short a few hours ago and joins us now live with the latest.
Death finally came to the former President of the United States, Richard Nixon, at 9:08 tonight, Eastern Time, here in New York at the New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center. At the former president's side when he died were his 2 daughters. The body has now left the Capitol. President Clinton said Richard Nixon continued to serve his country right up until the end of his life.
It's impossible to be in this job without feeling a special bond with the people who have gone before. And I was deeply grateful to President Nixon for his wise counsel on so many occasions, on many issues over the last year. His service to me and to our country during this period was like the rest of his service to the nation for nearly half-century. He gave of himself with intelligence and devotion to duty. And his country owes him a debt of gratitude for that service.
On Thursday, the former president slipped into a deep coma here in New York at the hospital. He had made it clear he did not want to be put on emergency life support. President Clinton said he plans to attend the former president's funeral. That will probably occur in California. The Nixon family apparently has decided not to have the former president's body lie in state in the U.S. Capitol in Washington. This is Kent Jarrell reporting from New York. Now back to you in the...
Okay, Ken, thank you very much. As Ken said, funeral arrangements will be held in California. The final arrangements still have not been detailed by the Nixon family. The former president, Richard Milhouse Nixon, dead at the age of 81. Our other top story tonight, Bosnian Serbs agreed to a ceasefire around the embattled Muslim enclave of Gorazda just hours after NATO issues an ultimatum threatening more airstrikes. But NATO planes remain on alert, poised to strike if the Serbs don't keep up their end of the deal. The ceasefire is set to take effect tomorrow morning. NATO hopes it will end the bloodshed that has left more than 500 people dead and hundreds more wounded. President Clinton appears ready to take other action in Bosnia. At a White House news conference earlier today, the president told reporters he would consider other options if the ceasefire doesn't work. CBS's Regina Blakely has more tonight on the NATO ultimatum and where Allied forces will go from here.
The day after 97 people were killed and almost 300 injured by the continuing Serb onslaught on Gorazde, the NATO Council set forth a three-pronged ultimatum to try and save the enclave. The Council ordered the Serbs to stop the shelling of Gorazde or face immediate airstrikes, and by tomorrow night, pull back forces to within 2 miles of the city center and allow humanitarian and medical assistance teams into the city. If the Serbs refuse, NATO warplanes will hit Serb heavy weapon and military targets.
Half measures will not do. Council has just decided to demand that the Bosnian Serbs cease their attacks against the safe area of Gorazde immediately. I repeat, immediately.
The Bosnian Serbs should not doubt NATO's willingness to act.
After the NATO announcement, President Clinton backed up the warning, but he repeated his commitment to not put American ground troops in Bosnia in the absence of a peace agreement.
We don't want to create the impression that the United States or the UN is entering the conflict to try to win a military victory on the ground. We do want to create the clear and unambiguous impression that we are angry and disappointed at the aggression and continued aggression of the Bosnian Serbs.
NATO also wants to force the Serbs from around the other safe areas, in essence creating exclusion zones like that used around Sarajevo. Knowing the American public has many questions about U.S. participation in the Bosnian conflict, President Clinton continued to stress that the purpose of the airstrikes is to keep the war from spreading and to force the Serbs to the negotiating table. If these ultimatums don't work, he added, the international community will be forced to consider other options. Regina Blakely, CBS News, the White House.
A UN convoy that left for Gorazde yesterday is returning to Sarajevo tonight. UN commanders canceled the mission because of the dangerous situation there. Yesterday, the convoy was stopped on the outskirts of Gorazde by about 200 Bosnian Serb women who stood in front of the tanks, refusing to let them pass. And for the first time in 2 weeks, aid flights landed at Sarajevo's airport. Humanitarian flights were canceled because of threats by Bosnian Serbs. The supplies are being delivered by the United Nations. Well, it's now time for our first check on sports and weather tonight. And tonight, the Boston Celtics were in Chicago, where they faced off against the Bulls. Rainey has the details, and he joins us now live from the newsroom. Rainey?
Thanks, Ed. The Celtics don't want the season to end. As a matter of fact, they're already going into double overtime in tonight's game with the Chicago Bulls, and that, of course, in Chicago. This game has just gone back and forth. Some great D has been played, and both teams have really struggled on the offensive ends at times. It's now 90-all as they head into the second overtime period. Scottie Pippen missed 2 foul shots, which would have given the Bulls the win. Second overtime, tied at 90. Later in sports, we'll take a look at the NHL action from tonight. Dallas and St. Louis were playing. Also, the Boston Red Sox found another way to win, and that with the steal of home tonight. And we'll also have the rest of the NBA, the NHL, and the American and National League. Now to Tony for first weather.
Thank you, Rainey. Tonight we have partly cloudy to clear skies over the area and temperatures dropping down into the 20s. Tomorrow, though, the air above us is going to remain quite unstable, and once again, clouds will be developing over northern New England, and it will remain cold as well, with highs only in the 30s. Have the complete forecast a little bit later in the newscast. Right now, going back to Ed Walsh.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. We'll check back in about 13 minutes. In other news tonight, firefighters were called back to the Presque Fairgrounds tonight after debris from Wednesday's stable fire flared up. This is the second time since the fire crews have had to douse the rubble. 9 horses were killed in that fire. Today, some of the people first on the scene on Wednesday morning returned to view the aftermath. Sarah Dyer went with them and reports they're thankful they were able to help out.
Many others faced the same fate that Wednesday morning at the fairgrounds. The Presque Fire Department saved several animals from one stable and stopped the fire from spreading to a third barn.
But what a lot of people may not know is that in the few important minutes before the fire crews arrived, a handful of local residents who saw the flames decided to do what they could, even if it meant risking their own lives.
I got to the end of the street and I seen a
nice little fire going, so I hollered on the CB, and some CBers, you know, helped me out. And I got here, and I couldn't see anything in the barns. I had no flashlight or nothing. I did what I could.
Others with flashlights arrived at the fairgrounds right behind Grimsley and helped a number of horses to safety.
You can see where each horse was.
Today, the group looked over the damage for the first time since the fire Wednesday morning.
I couldn't just see these animals just dying or taking too much smoke. I mean, they had some horses that they don't know if they'll be any good now for racing or not because of smoke. But I just couldn't stand back and just let them go. I just felt, you know, something had to be done.
But it's not all sadness today. One of the horses the group rescued from the burning barn was this 8-month-old filly. The horse's owner, Kenny Hafford, can't say enough about the group's efforts.
I really appreciate what they did. But if they wouldn't have got her out, she would have been smoke damage. She wouldn't be no good to anybody. And they did it. All these guys all chipped in. Everybody did a heck of a job.
John Nelson says he and the others had no doubts about going in to help the horses.
The horses are like, they're people's pets. You know, and I think of your own animal. Would a stranger go in my home and save my animals? And I know how much they meant to a lady I used to work with, so that was what was in my mind.
Getting involved helped save horses' lives. These people say the risk was worth it. Sarah Dyer, News Source.
And fire officials say they may never know what sparked that fire. Tonight, Portland police are investigating whether foul play was involved in the death of a man whose body was found this morning. That tops our regional news source. Police were checking on the well-being of a 54-year-old man when they found his partially decomposed body in an apartment this morning. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. Police were notified by neighbors who hadn't seen the man for days, but said his lights were on and they could hear music coming from his apartment. The Androscoggin County Sheriff's Department is launching an internal investigation after one of its cars smashed head-on into another vehicle during a high-speed chase in Poland. A Poland woman was killed in that accident. Officials say the deputy apparently lost control of his car and veered into the path of an oncoming vehicle. State police continue their own investigation. Sheriff Ronald Gagne says it appears the deputy followed procedure during the chase. And there will be an appeal of an arbitrator's ruling involving a family feud in the McCain frozen food empire. The ruling allowed Wallace McCain to keep his job at the helm of McCain Foods, which he shares with his brother Harrison. But it failed to resolve who should get control of the family firm. Wallace wants his son John to take over the company's top job, but Harrison thinks his nephew Allison should be the successor. The two brothers have been fighting the issue for the past 3 years. The hearing will be held in June. And still to come tonight, Rainey is back with the rest of the night in sports. He'll have all of the scores. Tony will have his weekend forecast, and a little later on, a good deed to help Mother Nature. Some Southern Aroostook youngsters lend a helping hand on this Earth Day. When your news source continues.
Connell Chrysler is going to put you behind the wheel of the 93 car of the year, the Chrysler Intrepid. Only $19,988 plus taxes and freight. You can drive this home for just $429.42 a month. No money down. The Intrepid offers dual airbags, air, automatic V6, AM/FM cassette, and so much more. Choose the Eagle Summit for only $94.94 plus freight and taxes, including rebates. Drive this one away. A smart choice for only $239 a month for 48 months. See Connell Chrysler for details, but hurry, these deals are hot. Connell Chrysler, Connell Road in Woodstock.
When you think about freshness, you think about foods like bread, fruits and vegetables, fresh eggs. But you probably don't know how important freshness is to your Diet Cola. Diet Pepsi introduces freshness dating, a date stamped on every Diet Pepsi that guarantees the taste you love will be at the absolute peak of freshness. Freshness dating from Diet Pepsi.
Now when you're scheduled for surgery at Carey Medical Center, your doctor may suggest Carey's Be Our Guest program. You'll arrive at Carey and spend the night before surgery in a comfortable private room. We invite you to be our guest for this one-night stay at no charge. Ask your doctor about Carey's Be Our Guest program or call 498-3111. Another caring innovation from your source of wellness, Carey Medical Center.
When building or renovating, many of us never consider the appearance of the biggest moving part of our home, the garage door.
LaForge doors provide the best-looking variety of garage doors available. LaForge doors are designed to last for years. Built with rugged aluminum, you can forget about sagging, cracking, warping, and that yearly paint job. Plus, LaForge doors provide superior energy savings. Manufactured to your specifications, adding beauty and elegance to your home.
First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton has tried to set the record straight on her commodities trading and her family's financial dealings. That tops our national news source tonight. Mrs. Clinton held a news conference today to answer questions on those subjects. She told reporters there's no evidence she received favorable treatment from her commodities trading just because her husband was governor at the time. Mrs. Clinton said she was reluctant to discuss her business affairs and personal finances, but says she now has better appreciation of what the public and press expect. 4 people were killed today when an air ambulance helicopter crashed in West Virginia. The chopper was traveling from North Carolina to West Virginia when it crashed in heavy fog. The pilot, co-pilot, and 2 nurses were killed. Officials say the patient survived the crash and was taken by ambulance to a North Carolina hospital. And for the second time in as many days, a deadly gas leak at the Johnson Space Center in Houston has forced the evacuation of the site. The gas was from the same tank which leaked yesterday. It's a deadly gas that's used in the shuttle rocket engines. The tank was emptied after yesterday's leak, but some residue was left inside. No injuries were reported. Elsewhere in the world tonight, the mother of Michael Fay says she's still hopeful Singapore's president will pardon her son. Michael Fay is facing 6 lashes with a cane for vandalism and other offenses. His mother, Randy Chan, today delivered thousands of letters and petitions asking the president to spare the punishment, which some have called too severe. Fay has already lost his legal appeal, and President Clinton has asked the country repeatedly to pardon Fay. Today, another teenager charged in the same incident as Fay was sentenced to 12 lashings with the cane and 8 months in prison. Tonight in our Money Report with Steve Crowley, we bring you a new segment called Ask the Money Pro. Steve answers some of the questions on your mind, from car leasing to college scholarships.
Steve, what advice can you give me about buying or leasing a car?
It's never a simple comparison, but leasing is just another way to finance a car. That's why most leases have a down payment. And I'm leaning more towards leasing than ever before. One dealer confided in me off camera by saying they shouldn't shop price, they should shop the deals now. And I believe there are more affordable lease deals around than ever. So here's the Crowley rule. Going to own that vehicle at least 2 years past the last payment? Buy it. Not going to do that? Lease it.
Steve, do you know where I can find any information on obtaining college scholarships?
Beyond the high schools and colleges themselves, the best source I know is the scholarship book by expert Dan Cassidy. Dan put himself through Yale University on a scholarship. Now he writes reference books showing students how to do the same. Find that scholarship book in most libraries and bookstores. It's updated every year.
Okay, Steve, question is, I have a mortgage in the mid-50s at a rate of 9 7/8. Does it pay with costs of refinancing and points, etc., to get involved in an attempt to reduce that mortgage?
And the answer is a resounding yes. You can drop the interest rate by about 1.5 points and your monthly payment as well as total cost. Shop around for a no-point or 1-point loan and a low fixed rate. Plan to stay in that home for at least 3 years afterwards to offset the closing costs. Some homeowners are even refinancing to lower rate adjustables, betting that rates won't climb much higher soon. With your Money Report, Steve Crowley, News Source.
The Crowley Report is brought to you by Caribou Mattress and Furniture Outlet, your Spring Air headquarters.
Furniture, stop here first at Caribou Mattress and Furniture, where we set the low price and the competition tries to follow. Caribou Mattress and Furniture across from the airport.
WOZI is doing it again, the 5th annual Spring Spectacular, an all-expense-paid trip for to Nashville. Fanfare 94. Keep listening to Today's Country on 101.7 FM for details about Spring Spectacular. WOZI, your home for country music, with personalities who make you feel at home anywhere. Weekdays, wake up with George Kelly, Wayne Knight with up-to-the-minute news, middays with Janelle Roberts and Dan McCoy to drive you home. Weekends, treat yourself to Mark Riley, Pat Patterson, and Joe Knowles. WOZI, Today's Country.
you ever wonder how they get the cars in through the door?
I'm more concerned about getting a car out the door on my budget.
He's a salesman, not a magician.
Excuse me, Mary. Looks like we got a new Ford for you.
Yes!
Okay, so he is Houdini.
For just $252 a month, lease this Taurus GL with standard dual airbags, air, 24-hour roadside assistance, and more. Expect the unexpected, only at your New England Ford dealer.
Maybe you could make Charlie's hair reappear.
Dolphin Spring Fever is finally here, so Dolphins has hundreds of specials in all their departments. Save on shoes, sportswear, children's wear. Save 20% on all spring coats. Big selection of men's dress pants on sale for $29.99. Graduation and weddings are coming soon, so this week Dolphins will be able to give you a free shirt, tie, belt, and socks with any suit bought at regular price. Buy a lady's dress at regular price and get 6 pairs of pantyhose free. Berkline recliner regularly $749.99 on sale for $299.99. 54-inch mattress and box spring set with 10-year warranty on sale for $249. Dolphins in Grand Falls.
Now's our chance to help our neighbors in Fort Fairfield whose homes and businesses were devastated by spring flooding. Please join us Wednesday night as we raise money in a special telethon on WAGM TV. Friends for Fort Fairfield, Flood Relief 94, Wednesday at 7.
Well, the weekend is finally here, and let's hope we'll see some sunshine.
Well, we won't see very much, I can tell you that.
Good news.
Temperatures aren't going to cooperate very much either.
So basically, it's a good time to stay inside and do some of that spring cleaning.
Good inside working weather, I guess you'd have to say. And it was a cool day today, too. You look at the temperature comparisons, and we had a high of only 37 degrees this afternoon, a low of 26, and that put us some 10 degrees below normal. 67 was the record high temperature for today, and that was set in 1977. 18 degrees, the record low for the state, recorded in 1947. Right now, the temperature has dropped off to 27 degrees. Our humidity tonight at 58%, and the barometer is rising. It's reading 29.95 inches. Wind is light out of the north at only 5 miles an hour. We did pick up a trace of precipitation today from some snow flurries, and the sunrise tomorrow is going to be at 5:31. It'll be setting at 7:31. Well, some cold temperatures and a storm in the upper levels today made the atmosphere very unstable today, and that produced a lot of clouds and, of course, the snow flurries that we saw on and off during the day. Plus, the temperatures were very cold all over the northeastern part of the country, with highs running from the 30s from New England into the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, it turned out to be pretty nice from southern New England through the Great Lakes. As far as sky conditions went, plenty of sun through this area, with high pressure centered near Chicago. And a little further to the south, we had a stationary front running from the Carolinas through the Mississippi Valley and into the western part of the country, and that caused some clouds. South of that front, some very mild temperatures with highs in the 80s across the Gulf Coast states, but in that warm air, plenty of thunderstorms had developed during the day today, and we even had a couple of thunderstorms break out over the mid-Atlantic states this afternoon. Now, tomorrow, the same situation here in the northeastern part of the country. We're going to be seeing the air above us very cold. It's going to make the atmosphere very unstable again, produce some clouds during the day, with temperatures staying below the 40-degree mark as high pressure pushes slowly to the east. And we'll have the rest of the forecast right after this message.
Considering a Toyota Camry LE? Take a few notes. Because the Honda Accord LX has a longer wheelbase. And let's see, it's got more headroom. It's got 5 more horsepower. That'll come in handy. And it goes 2 miles farther on every gallon of gas. I knew you'd like that. Most surprising of all, the Accord costs over $1,500 less than the Camry. Now, draw your own conclusions.
Why in the world did nearly 20,000 people visit Maine Yankee last year?
Look at them. It's a good resource.
The few palaces. About this size is this eraser. And they go to a little tube. This awesome dome is like 4.5 feet thick.
The kids ask some tough questions.
I beat the computer bad. It's just completely cool.
Find out for yourself 7 days a week at the Maine Yankee Energy Information Center.
Sometimes what makes the biggest difference in battling cancer has little to do with science, but instead on what hinges deep inside ourselves. Today, in body and spirit, cancer patients are beating the odds of terminal cancer with better attitudes and increased education. Learn how they're doing it with some powerful new weapons that have enhanced their chances of long-term survival with higher quality time. See how they're making a difference this Sunday on WAGM TV at 6:30.
It's Red Tag Days at F. McClure & Sons Toyota in Grand Falls. Toyota is offering factory-to-dealer incentives on all new models, and 5.8 financing is available on selected models. Red Tag Days also mean special lease rates. Drive away with a brand new 94 Tercel for as low as $169 a month. That's quality and value in an economical package. Park a brand new Camry in your driveway for as low as $299 a month. It's all going on during Toyota Red Tag Days. It's your neighborhood Toyota dealer, F. McClure & Sons Toyota, Grand Falls.
A warm front will be developing to our southwest on Saturday night, causing some light snow to develop. That light snow continuing into the first part of Sunday as the whole system heads this way. Now, as far as temperatures go from the spotters around the county tonight, most of the readings are running in the mid to upper 20s in northern and central areas, and between -3 and -5 Celsius in New Brunswick. To the south of us, we're looking at temperatures there ranging from 25 degrees Fahrenheit at Holton, -3 Celsius at Woodstock over the southern part of the state. Temperatures down there under clear skies are running in the mid to upper 30s. Now, the forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies, lows in the upper teens to the lower 20s. The winds will be light out of the northwest. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy once again as the atmosphere becomes unstable in the afternoon, highs in the 30s and 40s. And then tomorrow night, some light snow developing with low temperatures dropping into the 20s and the 30s. The light snow ending on Sunday, but remaining cloudy with highs in the 30s and 40s. And looking at our extended forecast, look for some showers or flurries on Monday, highs in the 40s. Sunny, near 50 degrees on Tuesday, and partly sunny weather, highs in the low 50s again on Wednesday. So, Ed, we've got to wait till next week to get some warmer temperatures.
All right, my apartment needs to be cleaned anyways. I can use the weekend to do it.
That sounds good.
Thanks, Tony. Randy Kluge's at Expert Sports. We'll be right back.
Should your name be on this envelope? It should if you're age 50 or over and thought it would be difficult to get valuable whole life insurance. This plan guarantees your acceptance because of a 2-year limited benefit period. Benefits won't decrease because you grow older. Premiums won't increase. It costs just $6.95 a month per unit. To find out more, call now.
Call 1-800-228-1200 and receive this free gift. 1-800-228-1200.
Opportunities for independence and freedom are available to Maine's disabled people and businesses from the Adaptive Equipment Loan Program. Individuals and businesses can receive long-term loans with favorable rates not exceeding prime. People and businesses can buy adaptive equipment, opening doors of opportunity for people with disabilities. Loans to businesses help cover the cost of complying with the new Americans with Disabilities Act, the Adaptive Equipment Loan Program. Call 1-800-499-AELP.
Hello. Spring's finally here, and the S.W. Collins Company True Value Coupon booklet's out. Have some great values, like a 6-inch porcelain planter. Have some wall paint on sale, only $5.98 a gallon, and over 600 colors. What else is on sale, Greg?
Okay, Sam, we have Miracle Grow plant food, great for growing roses or anything else in your garden. Stuff really works well.
How well does that stuff really work?
I'll show you.
Well, last time we checked in with Rainey, the Celtics were in a double overtime right now. How'd they do?
Boy, a big win tonight, of course, confidence-wise for the Celtics. The Chicago Bulls were one of the teams who were battling for first in the Eastern Conference, and the Celtics put a little crimp into their style, winning 104-94 in double overtime. In the second overtime, they held Chicago to just 4 points and picked up the easy win. And another sporting action, the Red Sox opened a weekend series with the California Angels 2 days ago. They picked up a victory over Oakland with some late-game heroics, and they did it again. Billy Hatcher surprises everyone in the ballpark, including manager Butch Hobson, by stealing home. Mo Vaughn says, what's going on here? And Hatcher tags the plate, and that ties the game there. And big Mo Vaughn then drives in Otis Nixon, and Vaughn, with this single down the line, drives in Nixon, and the Red Sox go on and pick up the 6-5 victory over the Angels. Moving on now to our game with Toronto and Minnesota playing. Joe Carter goes deep off Scott Erickson. Erickson's the person in spring training who hit Carter and broke his finger. And tonight Carter got even with that 2-run homer. And the Toronto Blue Jays go on to pick up the easy 8-2 victory tonight over the Twins. Devon White also hit a round tripper. The New York Yankees were facing the Oakland Athletics this evening, and New York went deep a couple of different times in this game. Paul O'Neill has a very hot bat right now. He hit another home run tonight, and they go on to pick up the victory. The Yankees, Louis Polonia's sixth-inning double broke a tie, and the Yankees go on to pick up the win. Bernie Williams, a two-run homer, capped a four-run outburst in the second inning of play, and Terry Steinbach also hit a home run tonight for Oakland. On to other American League action. Kansas City, Milwaukee. KC wins that one. Baltimore over Seattle by a score of 6-4. Detroit and Chicago. Cleveland and Texas also played. In the National League, the Atlanta Braves were looking to end a two-game losing streak, but it's now a three-game losing streak. Albert Martin goes deep here and hits this one out. Two-run homer there. Al Martin also drove in one more run on a single, and the Pirates go on to pick up the 5-2 victory over the Braves. Pittsburgh won their first road game of the year, and John Smoltz saw his record drop to 2-2. St. Smith improved to 2-1 for the Pirates. On to Cincinnati for the Reds game with the Florida Marlins. Charlie Huff trying to pick a person off first base, but he's not able to do it. And then Barry Larkin steals home on the play, and the Cincinnati Reds go on to pick up the 4-2 victory tonight over the Marlins. And the Houston Astros were taking on the St. Louis Cardinals, and St. Louis flashes some leather there. But it's Houston who's leading this game 5-3 in the sixth inning of play. Houston leading St. Louis in the sixth inning of play by a score of 5-3. Onto the National League scoreboard, Chicago and Colorado also played there in the fifth inning with the Cubbies leading. Montreal, Los Angeles in the second. Philadelphia, San Diego, New York, San Francisco just getting underway. St. Louis Blues and Dallas Stars were wrapping up Game 3 of their series tonight. Dallas won the first two in Texas, and they were looking to take a 3-0 lead. And really, once again, the Dallas Stars proved that they're for real this year. They go on to pick up the 4-2 victory tonight over the St. Louis Blues. On to the NBA now. Earlier in sports, we told you about the Celtics game with the Bulls and other NBA action. The New York Knicks were facing Milwaukee. And in this one, no doubt about it, Patrick Ewing and crew jumped on top early and never looked back. They jumped out to the 61-46 halftime lead, and they go on and pick up the easy victory tonight over the Bucks. On to Denver for the Nuggets game with the Utah Jazz, and there's Dikembe Mutombo with that block, and that gives him the all-time record for blocks in a season. 334 blocked shots this year. The rest of the team has only 304. The team together is 340. He has 334 of them, and Denver and Utah hooked up in a great game tonight. The Jazz, of course, both these teams are going to the playoffs. Denver in 8th spot, and the Jazz looking to get some great home court advantage as well. And this game went right to the wire with the Jazz winning at 111-106. Portland Trailblazers were taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and no doubt about this one, the Trailblazers go on and pick up the victory tonight over the Wolves. Other NBA action, Washington and Cleveland played this evening. Cleveland wins that one. Indiana leads Philadelphia big. Phoenix Clippers, San Antonio, Seattle, Houston, and Dallas are all still playing. University of Maine Prescott softball team will host Castleton State tomorrow at Caribou High School Field. Also on Sunday, the Owls will host Linden State. Both day games will begin at 12 noon at the Caribou Field. Baseball action, there's been a change in the UMPI baseball game set for Sunday at Park Field because the field isn't in very good shape right now. The Owls in UMaine Farmington will play tomorrow in Bangor, and that will take place at the Husson College Field. So, of course, this weather really hasn't done a thing for spring sports here. None of the golf courses up here are open yet. They were hoping to open by next week, but that could be moved back a little bit. By next Tuesday or Wednesday, we should have a better idea and let people know when the courses up here will open.
All right, Rainey, thank you very much. We'll have some final thoughts right after this.
And greetings to you, conversationalists all across the fruited plain. Welcome to yet another exciting excursion into broadcast excellence hosted by me, Rush Limbaugh. You decide if I'm the most dangerous man in America or just a sensitive 90s guy. Whatever you decide, rest assured I'll keep you on the cutting edge of societal evolution. Be warned, though, this program's addictive. Millions have been smitten with my wit and wisdom, and so too will you.
Rush Limbaugh, live on WEGP, the talk of the county.
The Madawaska Chamber of Commerce invites you to the 5th Annual Top of Maine Trade Show, Saturday, April 30th from 10 to 9 and Sunday, May 1st from 10 to 5. Every year is bigger and better, so you're sure to find something for the whole family. Over 75 exhibitors and 122 booths await you at the Top of Maine Trade Show in the Multipurpose Center on 7th Avenue, Madawaska. This is the perfect way to kickstart your spring. Over 5,000 people visit the Top of Maine Trade Show for the variety of products and services displayed under one roof. The Top of Maine Trade Show, Saturday, April 30th and Sunday, May 1st. The best used cars in the St. John Valley are at Valley Honda Woodstock. Take a look. A 90 Acura Integra, 92,000 kilometers. 91 Honda Accord EXR, 4-door wagon, only 56,000 kilometers. 91 Civic 2-door hatchback. This 93 Accord EX, automatic, loaded, only 17,000 kilometers. 93 Nissan, 4-cylinder, 5-speed. A 93 Honda Civic DX hatchback, automatic, only 18,000 kilometers. You won't find cleaner, more reliable used cars than at Valley Honda, Connell Road, Woodstock.
And finally tonight, Earth Day 94 is slowly coming to an end. But as John Gulliver reports, the work of some county residents on this day to celebrate the environment will linger long after today.
These youngsters and several more like them are taking spring cleaning to an extreme. Route 1, Holton to Amity.
Trying to get people to stop throwing trash on the side of the road.
That's the big message of this cleaning frenzy. So Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, members of the Earth Team, adult supervisors, and many more are putting in a full day of hard labor alongside the road.
What we're trying to do is show, as a community, we can do something to try and save the Earth. And hopefully this is going to be catchy.
We each have sections. We go so far to pick up the trash, and then if we get ours done, then we skip to the next one.
Their road show is paying dividends. Route 1 already looks better, plus the participants are getting a better feeling of why the environment is so important.
They're here because they want to show the adults that they can do something to try and save the Earth for them, you know, for the next generation. And that's important. And plus the fact that what we're doing is we're showing that all of this stuff out here that people are leaving, this trash, and garbage, is actually creating pollution or is bad for the environment.
And why do you want to clean up the Earth?
Because it's a beautiful place, and it needs to be taken care of.
Along Route 1 in Holton, John Gulliver, News Source.
And that is going to wrap things up for us tonight. I'm Ed Walsh. I'll see you again Monday night at 6 o'clock. Super Nard will join me here at the anchor desk. Late Night with David Letterman is next. CBS will have more on the passing of former President Richard Nixon tomorrow night on the CBS Evening News with Bob Schaefer. From all of us here at News Source, enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend. Good night.